Hi guys! One great thing about having a channel on Marvel Hero is that I've got to meet up with new friends in this game. So thanks for you all who message me in game and just drop me a message or exchange ideas and so on, or questions and so on. So those are really good. And I mean, this is one of the games that I really enjoy, and I really hope that I can share my experience with you all as well. And also eager to hear your experience as well. So yeah, I mean that's the whole reason why I'm making all this video. So a friend of mine today got Squirrel Girl as a random box hero. So he was asking me what kind of build should I go for, what kind of legendary and so on. So I gave some pointers, but to be honest, I haven't really played Squirrel Girl for a while for good reason, and so I said to him that just wait, I'm going to make a video tonight, and you probably get some answer here. I hope it will be helpful to those who may be interested in playing Squirrel Girl as well. So just a little bit of background. I mean, I used to enjoy Squirrel Girl a lot. I think she has gone through her up and down. She, when she first launched, was without the 52, level 52 power progression, and I mean she was alright. And then after that, with the 52 reveal, she got a little bit better. But then she got a lot better actually. But then the problem is that because of the rating and so on, initially she had like a 30 squirrel, and because of skeleton of the squirrel and so on, so they reduce the number from 30 to 15, and they attempt to scale up everything else, and along with that they fix some so-called bugs and so on. And since then, Squirrel Girl is never the same. At least to me, it's not really as powerful as she used to be. So anyway, I picked her up again today, and the good news is that I still very much enjoy Squirrel Girl, and thank you for requesting this video to be done, because if not for this request, I probably just wouldn't play her for a long time. So I did went through all her gears, think through all her Omega point setup and so on and so forth, and I mean she's reasonable. Now she's not a Punisher whereby I've got time to kill on a Punisher target. I think she's off the target by about 30 to 40%. So I mean she's not really that great, but what I'm going to do is that I'll run through one terminal. Probably I'll just pick Juggernaut or whatever to see how fun it is actually to play Squirrel Girl. But before I get there, as always, I'd like to share my my gear stats so on, because that would probably put everything into perspective. Now, to gear Squirrel Girl, you could gear her up as a summoner, or gear her up as melee or ranged. Recall I did a video on Rocket Raccoon about looking at the pet damage versus hero damage. I did the same, by the way, today with Iceman, which shows that he got really good potential. So because before I invest into gears and everything else onto summoner build, I really want to test it out, see whether it is really worth it to go summoner or not. Because to go summoner, you have to go for all the artifacts, you have to go for very specific kind of blessing that you probably cannot transfer to anything else. You have to pick a very specific legendary. So in short, I would like to be sure before I go for a summoner build. So for Iceman's case, it's very clear cut. The pets are very powerful. The hero is also very powerful. In fact, he's much better than Rocket Raccoon in that sense. But for Squirrel Girl, I took her for a similar test and so on, and her Squirrel really not doing much damage at all. I mean, consider all things. I mean, I did a study and do some scaling and so on, mathematics behind it. Don't want to bore you. So I've decided to let's use a squirrel. Let's use a squirrel as the buff to the hero. I think that's what the design of Squirrel Girl is for, because for every squirrel out there, there are like crit damage rating that is can benefit the hero as well. So that's what I do, and I actually built her. Maintain her as a range with different choice of gear, different choice of Omega point and so on. So before I go into terminal, I just want to show you my stats, very quick stat first, so at least you know what you are looking at over here. So I'll talk about gear later after the so-called demo walkthrough. So in terms of stats, right, her crit is around, if you look at her physical crit is about 52%, Her the range crit is about 49. So you look at the higher one, which is 42.1%. So the crit is not an issue at all. It's pretty good. Brutal, I've got her around 47. I could get a little bit higher as well, but you know, I think I work with what I have today. So it's about 47. So the Brutal is not that bad as well. The crit damage rating is actually pretty good. Okay, 241 before Squirrel come out, but once you take the Squirrel out, you have like 294, which is close to 300%. I mean, it's alright. It's not fantastic, but it's alright. Brutal damage is up 500%, so you know, 300%, 500%. Those are pretty good number. Now the problem with Squirrel Girl is also the gear and so on. The unique design is not something that within my control. Her damage rating plus all the base plus physical plus range plus anything you can think of. Is only about 244%. So that is actually quite low because you know, like hero like Winter Soldier, like Punisher, they're pushing 400% and above. A lot of those damage rating come from the gear design, the unique design as well. If Squirrel Girl doesn't have it, if any hero unit doesn't have it, you really don't have it. So if the power tree doesn't have the kind of passive and so on, there's nothing you can do. So that's why the Squirrel Girl to me is a weak hero, because the flat damage, even with my Omega Pawn, everything dumped inside, is still pretty low, 250%. It's actually lower than the crit damage rating. So you know, if you recall, the damage, overall damage is actually you know, normal damage multiplied by the crit damage rating at the crit region, and also multiplied by the brutal damage rating, which also include the crit damage rating at the brutal region. So you know, it is very strange that the flat damage is so low. So that's why my gear choice, I try my best to get her some flat damage, but there's only that much I can do. The rest are up to the power and the unit design, which is just beyond me. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to take her to one of the terminal and just let you see how agile, fun it is. Alright, here I am, and it is a Juggernaut terminal, like I said. So you know, basically the fun part about Squirrel Girl is that you have to keep on the run and spamming the oh, I got a bus here by the way. Spamming the two damage over time. One is the Death from a Tree, the other is Squirrel Apocalypse, and you know, with that, then you know, basically those are, you know, very nice bleed and you know, slow as well. So with that spam, I mean, you don't have to stay in one place. Actually you shouldn't, because when you play Squirrel Girl, you have to be on the run, and as she go across the mobs, she actually knock off the people as well, so it's very nice. So you know, I would strongly recommend just be on the go, and if there is what is this one called? The special force is up, then you just use it. Otherwise, just spamming the two damage over time, the Death from a Tree, as well as the Squirrel Apocalypse. And it's very nice. I mean, look at this. I mean, she hardly take any much. I don't really take any med kit. And then her spirit is pretty strong as well. I mean, you know, I mean, look at that. I mean, that is pretty good when it comes to Cosmic Terminal. It's really just killing off everything that you can see. And yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it's very relaxing. I use a med kit there just because it seems a bit dicey, but nevertheless, I think they're alright. I mean, you know, then I go back and loot whatever I can, and I have a spender. My spender is the very logical the AA, which is the Auto Archon, I think called Auto Fire Archon, which is alright. I mean, it used very little spirit. And I think the cost is I got down to very low, and it actually gets more powerful if you continue to press it instead of, like, you know, like for instance, if I continue to press it, it get more powerful. Alright, so but so far just need to I want to get this book. Who knows what's there? Usually it's nothing, just like well, nothing much. Yeah, I mean, you know, you see the stuff that she does, you know, it's very much very agile. I really like the you know, so to the one, whom requested me to do it, I thank you, because I really have a lot of fun. Just, I mean, you look at her going through this whole terminal without any, like, I mean, just so relaxing going through it. I'm trying to find mobs here, and yeah. Okay, so when she run over mobs, they actually do a stun as well, so it's very nice. So that's what I usually do. Just go directly onto the mob. All right. Okay. Do I have more here? Yeah, I think there are more here. Right. And I also have sick them as well. I think called sick them or sick them. That is you know, I don't really put a lot of points in it because it's more for redirection of the squirrel if you need to, because now you can direct them to go to places whereby whereby you want them to go. And usually I use the sick them as the pre-buff to the special task force. And I mean, so far, right? I mean, Squirrel Girl is really nice on the Cosmic Terminal. The only thing that probably not as strong is the boss fight. As you can see later on, the boss fight would likely to be a lot slower than what you have seen in other. So so yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. And you look at her health, it just looks pretty impressive here, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun just running around, very agile, and she can stun and knock down, and the knockdown is about, I think, quite a while as well. I haven't got the exact figure off my head, but yeah, I mean, they do lock down quite a while for a while, good enough for her to just get to another place and so on. So yeah, I mean, and if the signature is ready, I just that's it. So done. So she got the bounty done. Now it's to the boss. And okay, this is one of my. I hate this. I fix the most. It's one of the worst for for Squirrel Girl because of the. Okay, so yeah. So I mean, normally when you see others already dead, so ooh. Okay, so yeah. At the very last moment, see whether she win or Juggernaut win. So yeah, so she got it. And alright, so now just go and loot my stuff and see whether there are any good stuff like the artifact. Probably not this time. Like the Hand of Doom. Okay, so yeah, I hope you get a sense of how she performed in a Cosmic Terminal. It's really like just very relaxing, just keep running, very agile, go from place to place, lay down the damage over time, and I mean, she's not really a boss killer, well, although in comic books she is supposed to be, but she doesn't really kill as fast as I would wish to be, but I mean, she's still Squirrel Girl. And okay, so the next bit is about talking about her build and my Omega choice and gear choice as well. That is really exciting. Okay, so this part of the video is about sharing with you Squirrel Girl's build and gear option and Omega point as well. So I've chosen to be a ranged build because no matter which build you pick, you must have this Squirrel Apocalypse, meaning that because it applies the vulnerability, which is great, 10% increased damage across the damage that you have. And it is importantly, it has the damage over time as well. So the most important thing is the bleed component to it, because I use hero synergy for the I pick X23 hero synergy to go in line with this bleed kind of like a fix. So it is great. I mean, regardless of whether you want melee or you want total summoner, you still need to have this. And another thing is this death from the tree is wonderful because it does slow down everything. You've seen it, it slows down everything, and it does the damage over time, which is very tiny, 6,000 odd, which is really, really tiny. But however, I mean, it has a very nice slow effect, and it also synergizes with the Loki synergy if you have the 5% from Loki on the slow target. So that's something great. And other thing that I use is the auto fire acorns. Now this one is very interesting because it doesn't look a lot, because 7,000. What is 7,000? I mean, even Iceman's basic is like way beyond this 7,000. But it has a 40% to elite and boss. So instead of 7,000, you plus another 40%, and also it would actually fire quite fast as well. So but of course, all things in consideration, you have to look at the rate of fire as well. It does 4.5 per second, so it does hit very, very fast. But you have to hold it hold it to get 100% faster kind of rate, so that the DPS increase. Spirit cost is very little, 1.6. So you multiply by the 5, so that is per second, or 4.5, that would be per second cost. But then of course when you hit more, it kind of like scale up as well. But in a boss fighting in a solo environment, you probably can't benefit a lot when you have to run around, because you can hold that auto fire icons for too long. But in a raid environment, I would think, or in a group environment whereby Squirrel Girl can just stay there, this is a very nice option to have. And you've seen it does hit like a truck, and when Solar just hold it there, like just now I was with Juggernaut, just face to face, I like hit the button and don't see who die first, and but yeah, I mean, so enough said. This is great stuff. Basically you don't have any other option anyway. There's no other single spender. And this one, the Squirrel Cunning, is where we give you extra spirit, which is great. Projectile deflection chance, which is also good. It also gives you crit. Squirrel Girl need the crit. Yes, she does need the crit. And the wonderful thing about it is the crit damage rating. You've seen it adds quite a fair bit when you summon 15 Squirrel to you times 1,002. So I mean, that's like a good part of Gunir if you have that legendary. So it's good stuff. Max it all. The signature is nice because it's homing. So it unlike those like Winter Soldier, Return Fire, or other, or even Gambit that you have to like aim when you hit. This one is just homing. But the good thing is it is homing. You hit something, but the bad thing is that you can't control what is it hitting. So it could be hitting some kind of random target and so on, not hitting a boss. But it is what it is. But it's very interesting. It has a range as well as an area attack as well. And it's important because when you choose your gear option, then range and area. So you remember, right? So range area is for this Hulkbuster Squirrel. This is also range and area. This is also range and area plus bleed, and this is also range and area as a signature. So in a nutshell, previously I actually gear for range and area, believe it or not, because I was using Squirrel. Apocalypse as the main spender, but then the problem with that is that it actually because of all this retagging, they did around retagging and so on. I don't think that is as great as competitive. So I picked this one instead. So I hope that sum up the Squirrels. This is where your main DPS come from. The other part is that as for the summon part, I mean, she's still Squirrel Girl. You can't really get away from that. So Squirrel Friend is something that is passively hitting target. So you can do the maths, so it's around less than 2,000 per Squirrel, but you've got like 15 Squirrel as well, so 15 times that. It is like a constant damage over time that's happening without even doing anything. So I choose to max it, although I'm not a summoner build. And this one is the Squirrel Special Forces. I choose this because I have nothing else to choose anyway. I mean, what else can you do with Squirrel Girl? So it is kind of good to buff the Squirrel damage by a little bit, and they summon 6 of them that does this special, hit harder and so on. So in fact, it scale up your number. I mean, depend on how you want to do the mathematics. But what I do is that I do a sick them first, because sick them will do like a target take extra damage from Squirrel, so I do a sick them, and then after that I'll just hit the Squirrel special force. So these two go in tandem. Actually, I don't really need this one at all, because this one is also to redirect the Squirrel from one set to the other, like Groot. If you play Rocket Raccoon, you can reposition the pet. So it's just nice to have. Do I need to max it? No, I don't, because it's a summon tag. I'm not summoner, so I'm really sorted over here. And then then I have this Squirrel Distraction that also Squirrel give dodge rating as well. So you look at Squirrel Girl, I'm not taking really a lot of damage and so on, because I think my dodge is pretty fantastic, or pretty good, and it give you give me the health and other element as well. So defense as well. Well, I mean, those are for melee, but then because as I roll, I have melees. Remember when I roll onto the target, I actually do a knockdown. Okay, this roll is very nice. Okay, so I'm gonna put back my gear. All right, so hope you take a screenshot. And then after that, I'm gonna put back all my gear. Okay. Okay, so if you look at the knockdown is about the 2.6 seconds. So I mean, in a game like Marvel Heroes, 2.6 seconds is quite a lot. I mean, a lot of mob dies within 2 seconds, 1 second anyway. So even with Squirrel Girl, who is probably not as competitive as other newer heroes, I mean, 2.6 seconds is good. So I always roll onto the mobs, and you saw my style of playing, just keep rolling onto a mob and dump the damage over time, slow them down, and just keep running around. And that is a good stuff. The forest walk is really good. And then look at the spirit cost as well. I mean, in today's standard, when you look at usually it's about 10, 11. I mean, look at Taskmaster, the spirit cost is a lot more for something like that. I mean, so it is very good. And you look at her, she's very agile when she rolls. There's no lag and so on. So it's beautiful, this part. So I hope that's enough about the power tree. You may want to go for melee, but I strongly probably not recommend, because in melee the only damage over time is this guy here. And I mean, you could still have the the problem with melee is that I have to map it under either left key or right key, because it doesn't close the distance. I don't think this one does the closest distance as well. So you have to have a melee, basic, or one of the melee power to close the distance to a mob, and then do the 12 to get damage over time, and then you can plus the other 2 damage over time as well. But hey, I mean, you've seen just now, it's alright. I mean, I think the everything is range is fine. And it's also easier for the gear, make omega 3 decision as well. All right. So now, okay, so that is what I want to say about the power. So now that you understand where she come from and what are the challenges she has, gearing is always about the choosing the gear that work within the constraint of hers. So I've decided to swap out the first slot. I use Kirigi's Katana, and I tell you what, just give me a moment. Let me grab some of the other alternative unique, so that you can see that if you don't have something like this, you may have something else. All right, just hang on. Okay, so let's talk about her slot one. So I've decided to use the Kirigi's Katana. But I understand that this is not easy to farm. So another alternative I would suggest is this sword there. Why? Because of the physical damage rating, and it. But okay, this is not the max roll, by the way. I just randomly picked one from my stash. But I mean, it does give you 500 physical damage rating, which are divided by 40, so you have 10, 12, maybe kind of percentage on top of what you have. So like I said before, what we are trying to work here is to work on her base damage, because I think her crit damage is already there, 300%, 500% for Pluto is it's just on par with other hero. But what she's really lacking is just the normal damage part of it. So I mean, this is one option that can help to scale up the gap there. I mean, even this one is better than the unique that she has, in my opinion. So that is for this slot one. I mean, slot 2 wise, this is a very tough choice, because +2 to all power is actually pretty good, but the rest of the stats are just it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's good to have health because without that, I mean, a big chunk of health and spirit come from this as well. I mean, imagine without that close to 2K health, what's my Squirrel Girl's health is going to be? It's pretty low. So I would say it's not ideal, but it's something that I can work with. The other one is this one is I also contemplating whether I should replace this one as well. Again, this is like the health and spirit, a big chunk of it as well. And more importantly is that the Squirrel Power, which is the last bit of it, which I think I haven't got a very nice roll. I think I could get an even higher roll to it because that actually directly buff the range power that I talk about. The main DPS come from the last one. So even if I have a +2 power, +1 power from any other unique, I still lack the couple of ranks to have the extra mile for Squirrel Girl. So yep, for this slot, I mean, you could take the Tippy-Toe or take this one. The reason why I picked this one again is a big chunk of health. It's just wonderful. I mean, why can't they just put the health into the passive tree? I mean, why you have to take up the budget for the hero? It's just, I don't know what Gazillion is thinking. I mean, by the way, all these health are big budget item because all these items has a budget to it, and you can't really go overboard on those things. But I mean, it's their choice. It just somehow just puzzle me. But I mean, yeah, I mean, again, it's a +2 to all power. It's +3 right now because I upgrade to 69. But I mean, again, it is a +2, so I'll take any +2 is fine. I mean, and that's why I mean, okay, so this one is a big contestant. Sort of like, do you want to keep this or do you not? Because if you are not summoner build, then by right, then this is not really for you. However, I mean, although Squirrel Girl is not summoner, but it does help her, Squirrel to do the things. It is a +2 to all power as well. I wish it was like another very specific +1 to this particular tree, or and so on. But I mean, +2 to all power is nice. I mean, it's good. It's really good. +1 intelligence, by the way, will help the Squirrel. And as a summoner, why her base intelligence is so low, I don't understand as well. I mean, it's only 4. What if I take it away? It's 3. I mean, as a summoner, I mean, at the base, how can it be so low? I don't understand. So anyway, so okay, what other option you have if you don't want the Iron Man versus series? The other one is that this is a nice one to have. Again, this is not the max roll. You can craft it through the crafter when you pick up all those Sentinel parts and torso and whatnot. Again, it gives you a flat damage, range damage. Like I mentioned before, what we need to work on is her normal damage region. I think is really lacking, so it is a good option. I think it is, but I lose the +1 power, so it's a toughie. I mean, it could end up better if I choose this one. I don't know. And another option that I've been thinking is to use one of the curse unique as well. So this one is also +2 power. However, I mean, I don't think I need any more health. Any more spirit. The damage rating, even if I look through all my few of them, I mean, damage rating is only about 240 divided by 4 is 8% damage, so 8% plus. And I don't need any more crit damage rating really. I mean, I need to, because the base is the normal damage is so low that it doesn't matter, because it's a product of 2. You have to increase the 2 at the same time. So so yeah. I mean, anyway, this is one option. So I would actually seriously think about maybe I should replace this one, maybe not. Give me an extra 8% over the damage, which I mean, just do whatever we can to beef it up. Alright, so yeah, so that is the choice of unique in a nutshell. As far as artifact is concerned, I don't think you need much introduction on the metasensory and also the cigarette. Because I was still thinking of getting the crit damage for her, and in fact, I mean, that is a very nicely roll as well. Quite. Then this one is the flat physical damage. Also need no introduction because it gave me the health. So imagine without this health, I mean, my Squirrel Girl will be pretty weak. I picked this one as also the flat damage to health to range power. I don't have an Omega artifact anymore that is for physical. I have any others for energy and for mental. That would have given me quite a substantial jump on the normal power. So I don't have it. So but the good thing about this is that it has a spirit component to it, so it's good. And also it the attack speed, you say what you can. I mean, right now my attack speed is about 24.3%, whatever it means. I mean, it does help with the Autofire icon in some sense, but it's not really why we use this artifact. It's really for the spirit and for the blessing. I mean, I should have done Hela for all, but I just that I got the other two from my friend, so I just am keeping it. Memory of him, be a good friend. Pass me the two blessing before I have even thought about using blessing in this game. But I think you can pick anyone, and this is probably one of the reasons why in the Cosmic Terminal I can keep my spirit up very nicely and so on. All right, the medallion, like I said, flat damage. I don't really have much choices here, so I go for this one here. It's either this one or Hood. Hood also give a pretty high physical damage, but I picked this one because it I don't know, it has a knockdown component to it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but still, I mean, it as a physical range, I don't think there are many medallion out there that can help. Legendary is Grunil. That's pretty no-brainer because of the damage, crit damage rating budget there is really high, 2,000 of them. I mean, you can't find a legendary match with that. I mean, even if you do the mathematics behind it, which I'll do another video on that. In terms of core wise, I have the crit damage rating for all. Again, I roll some damage rating to my range power. 300 divided by 40 is 5% there. The health part of it is nice because I do need to have it keep up in some sense. So this insignia is very interesting because I mean, although I said that Squirrel Girl not summoner, she's still summoner. So this support aura is really nice because it does buff the summon damage, which I really need. My summon damage is only about hang on, this is not right. I don't know why it's like it's health. The summon ally damage for me is quite low, 72%. It's pretty low. As a summon, Rocket Raccoon, I got it to about 440, but I don't think even after I raise it up to that much and my hero is totally not performing, and it's not going to add up. So anyway, so yeah, this aura is really nice. I mean, +1 intelligence buff the pets as well, and I like the crit damage rating, and also not many hero can really use this one. So I think why not give it to Squirrel Girl. And I think the ring is, I got it from ICP the other day. It's not a level 60 ring, but it has some nice crit damage rating there. As well as the damage rating when you use a range power. So yeah, I mean, it is standard stuff. Nothing to cheer about. In terms of the room where I have the River of the Soul. I suspect because of I have this one here, I can actually go for a more aggressive one to help me with the 200 range, 200 physical whatnot that some other room has, but that probably would help another 10% somehow. So yeah, I mean, I could have done that as well. So okay, so that is the all her gear. The last thing we'd like to show you is her Omega system. Okay, so the Omega system is pretty standard. If you have been following my video, you know why the points are so odd, because I have this methodology of assignment. But this one is no-brainer because it gives me the summon ally damage as well as the crit and brutal. Is good stuff. I have a bit of brutal damage rating from this melt phase. I choose not to go deep into here because I want my hero to deal most of the damage, which she does. This is a very last minute thing. I'm still exploring this to 10. I don't know whether I can or not because I'm hitting the cap soon. But what it does is that it gives me a kind of nice, base damage to range power. I mean, it's very little, but still, I mean, every little counts. What I really don't like about this tree is this guy here. It cost me a lot of 50 points just to open up 1% special item. I mean, who would have dreamed about that adding in this tree? It's nonsense. Then this one, the brutal damage rating and brutal strike rating, I picked this up as well. And then after that, this one is skill suppression, brutal strike rating, also getting high brutal. Then after that, I have 5 points here as well. 5% base damage is nice. It's 200 damage rating for range. All right. Then this one I have plus fighting because plus fighting give me the brutal strike and that go into the pad as well. It's nice and it help me to flat damage as well. And that's only that much you can do with physical power because so yeah, I mean that is the reason why I picked the fighting. And then after that, this one is more brutal strike rating. I mean, looking back, should I have taken this one because my base is so low? I could have done it with the strength instead, but at the end of the day, I asked myself, it's just the extra 5% more. I mean, if I take the strength, so is it really worth it? But here has the brutal to it, which is good for end game, so I stick with that. Spin tag, I take all. Although I don't, as a hero that with pets, I can't really benefit all of this. But I think because I shift a lot of damage to the hero, so I think at least it's good. So here is where the good stuff comes in, whereby I have the damage rating to physical attack. This one is very little. I mean, it's just 2%. Then this one is 5%, so together 7%. But here is plus 5 strength, which 4 times 5 is 20% of that. So the one that I was talking about contemplating is this guy here. But because this one is actually quite expensive to get the first point, the second one is 200 points, but the first one is 300 points. So that gives me the plus strength. So if I forego the plus 1 fighting, I'll go for this guy. But I think that with all set, I think I go for brutal. So. Yeah, I mean, then the last thing about hero synergy about this Squirrel Girl. See, I'm so passionate about Squirrel Girl. It's about the I pick Cable. I think all hero pick Cable for the crit chance. Physical power is plus 2%, not great, but at least there's a bit of health there. Hawkeye is the crit damage. All have it. I pick Iceman because it gives me the 5% to slow target. Death from the tree, slow everything down. I get 5% on top of that. So it's what I'm going for. Then low key also another 5% to slow target, add up together 10%. But it's good thing about it is the power reduction. Moonlight give me the physical power crit chance, 3%, 4% altogether. Mr. Fantastic, good stuff, 4% crit damage. I have it for all my heroes. So yeah, after Squirrel Girl is 4% versus boss, and Wolverine is brutal damage, brutal chance. So yeah, I hope you've got some idea about this game. I mean, for Squirrel Girl, and if you have other questions, feel free to ask me. If you have some idea to exchange, feel free to just engage me in game. You can talk a little bit about Squirrel Girl. But again, thank you all for watching, and thank you for all those who are connecting with me through the game, and thank you for the one who requested for this video because I kind of like what I have right now. Thank you guys. Bye.